Okay, seems like this OTF Doodie Low situation is another case of a scorned ex-lover using their children in the most sickening way to get back at their ex. Now, if you're not aware, OTF Doodie is a OTF artist, of course. You can tell by his name. He's a Lil Durk's artist. Probably, that's what he's most known for. Most known for being on the OTF comp album. This is pretty popular. So, he has a bit of a career going. He can definitely, he has potential. So, allegation like this definitely hurts him. This is probably one of the most sickening allegations you can put on someone. Because this woman, FTN Bae, wherever her name is, stupid ass name, she had accused this man of sticking screws up her 5 or 6 year old son. I don't know how old he was at the time this accusation was made. Pretty disturbing stuff. But now she's come out and admitted to lying. And then as soon as she admits to lying, she takes it back, claiming that her hand was forced. Which her hand definitely was forced, but not in the way you probably think. So let's read these messages. My hand was forced making that live. I had no choice. My son was questioning with David on the phone, and my son got scared and denied everything. If I didn't issue an apology, he would have released the audio and manipulate the story even more. And I'm genuinely tired. How are you going to manipulate the story? With what, facts? I was backed into a corner. As soon as I got off live, my son came in my room because he peed in his pants and crying, saying he's so scared. And I'm sure that happened. Okay. So if you're not confused about how her hand was forced, apparently her son admitted to lying, saying the mother told him what to say and whatnot, and he admitted to lying. And also on top of that, OTF Doodie Low had passed a lie detector test. Now, me personally, I don't have much faith in a lie detector test. I would never agree to take a lie detector test, because I don't really have much faith in them. But what's crazy is she had harassed this man to take a lie detector test. In her apology video, she's like, even in her apology video, she's like, he finally decided to take a lie detector test. I don't know what took him so long, but then now she's not she's not honoring the results of that lie detector test. Now, me personally, I wouldn't rely on a lie detector test either way, but if you're harassing someone to take a lie detector test, you have to honor the results. So that's how her hand was forced. He probably put him in a situation where he was like, look, apologize online and clear my name, or I'm gonna have to do it myself, which is respectable. He's probably like, look, we can take this in court. I can clear my name right now, take this to court, and make this worse for you than it has to be. So he probably offered her a pretty good deal, to be honest. So, because, men, unlike a lot of women, even when people are doing you wrong, you're not sitting here trying to ruin their lives. You just want to clear your name. So that's probably why she made the video. But instead of leaving the situation alone, she keeps going. This is not getting dropped and will remain to be fought in court. My son's nightmares are real. What Alex said she saw is real. Okay, we're going to go through some of the stories they said, but it's like, which story is real? They said they came up with like a few different stories, right? The trauma that my son deals with emotionally is real. And I still stand with the kid no matter what that N-word do. Then why'd you make the apology video? Why'd you bother to make him do the lie detector test? Why do anything? If what regardless happens, you're not going to admit any fault whatsoever. David was recording my son and had no clue my son would get scared and take it back. Really now? Your 6-year-old son, you had no idea, or whatever. This is a lot to deal with for my family. Why didn't you just, use your Fifth Amendment. Like, why are you talking? Whatever. I got scared and take it. This is a lot to deal with for my family. This is I'm sure this is a lot for OTF Doodie family to deal with. And I'm extremely sad that I had to come on here and do this. Then why did you do it? You're the first person who took it to the internet. Now you're mad because the tides are turning? Come on. I'm extremely sad that I had to come on here and do this because I'm not dropping ish and I'm still going to work with the police. Should have did that to begin with. I will still stand and fight for my kid. You did a horrible job fighting for your kid. Like, a horrible job. If that's what you think you're doing. My son lying in the face of the person who he's saying touched him is not far-fetched. And you coaching your son isn't far-fetched. Because that's what happened today. But to say that my son and baby Alex are both lying, well, they did lie. Or, I'm not saying they're lying, I'm saying you're lying. But by your own admission, they lied. Like, they said like 3 different stories. So one of them has to be a lie, right? And my son described specific details. No, he didn't. I've seen all the videos of your son talking. He did not specifically detail anything. He could barely speak. He could barely put together a sentence without you coming in and trying to coach him. So to sit there and say, like, oh, he specifically stated what? No, there's no video of it. Show me a video of him specifically detailing the story without you saying anything. I mean, even with you saying anything, he couldn't get through. He couldn't say the story. So what are you talking about? But that's not it. Let's because OTF Doodie had posted something on Twitter. Let's run through this. She said that on October 1st, 2021, the victim soiled himself in school and the school called her. She said that she began to question him and he's told her that he and Alex, 3-year-old and female reference above, were playing and he fell and hit a stick with his bottom. Okay, that's the first story. She said that she kept asking him and the victim said that Alex put something in his bottom. That's the second. Okay, that's the second story. And that's the first person he's done accused, apparently, according to her. That said that the victim was expressing feelings of being violated. She said that she took the victim to the hospital on October 1st, but did not take him inside because she was fearful that Alex would be in trouble. That has to be the most ridiculous thing I've ever read. You didn't take your son. Your son's expressing that he's been violated. You didn't take him in the hospital because you're afraid that your 3-year-old daughter would get in trouble. Like, what? There's no legal recourse against a 3-year-old. Like, this has to be the most dumb excuse to not take your child to the hospital I've ever heard. No 3-year-old's going to jail. Well, at least not for something like this. But I've never heard of a 3-year-old going to jail, period. Like, what's she talking about? And they're definitely not going to jail for sticking something up their brother's butt. Like, she's 3. She said that she called the subject via FaceTime and talked to him about what was going on. She said the subject was the person who mentioned that maybe someone had touched the victim. She said that she proceeded to question the victim repeatedly over the next day or two until finally the victim said that this subject had put screws in his bottom. Said that she could not believe that the victim did not bleed as a result. So she's admitting that there was no blood or anything noticeable after he claims that someone stuck screws up his butt. There's nothing you could have saw that would indicate that. This is not looking good. And has said that she never saw any blood on the victim's clothing. Yeah, that's not looking good for you. So why did you take him to the hospital after that? Now, because now you have no fears that a 3-year-old, because now the 3-year-old's not being accused of anything. So why? This is stupid. Apparently, though, there's nothing. She didn't take him to the hospital even after that. So there's no legal way to prove what happened in this case. The only evidence of anything happening is the testimony of the now 6-year-old victim, who cannot describe this incident with any detail or consistency, who initially denied that anything criminal occurred, and who has stated that his mother told him what to say. This same child has also stated that his mother frequently leaves him home alone and lets him cook on the stove. When I told her what he told me about that, she said that was a lie. Oh, that's brilliant. Because she's using this narrative like, oh, are you saying my child will lie? But she's calling her own son a liar here, and said that she does not leave him home alone and he does not use the stove. So does your kid lie or not, ma'am? This seems like just another typical situation of a woman using her child to ruin the life of an ex-lover. So, in closing, I would say there needs to be laws, because I don't care what these feminists or whatever guys. There needs to be laws where if you get convicted of lying about this level, or accusing someone of this level of not accusing but lying, saying someone did something of this level of degenerate behavior, then whatever time they would get, you should now get. And I know there's a lot of people who are going to sit there and say, well, no, this is just going to make it harder for women to come out with these allegations. No. It's going to, first of all, we're not saying that women who make accusations or women who accuse someone of the R word or the M word, and it comes in that person who is then found not guilty, that they should go to jail. But what we're saying is, if it can be proven that you lied about something like this, then you should go to jail. And there should be no argument against that. If you lie about something like this and it's proven, you should go to jail. And also, it would make people take these accusations more seriously, because now we know there's actual recourse for if you lie about something like this. Because right now there's no recourse. Women can do this type of stuff, and then years later, because we see it happen all the time, it's proven that they lied, or they come out and admit themselves that they lied, and they just go on with life. You've had cases where you had men who were sitting in jail, and then later on, years later, the woman admits that they lied. And then it's like, guy lost out on like half a decade of his life. Some lose out on 20 years of their life. You know what I'm saying? There's some people who lose their life. We all know the Emmett Till story. So there needs to be recourse for doing this type of stuff, because it happens more than women would like to admit. But that's just my 2 cents on the subject.